Hey guys, Automatic Garage back today. We got a 2001 GMC with a 6.0 in it. And truck came to us. He actually called me a week before it got brought here and said, hey, I'm down on power. And he told me some of the symptoms, and it sounded like he had a weak fuel pump or he had trash in his tank, one or the other. So that we were trying to work him in here to the schedule. Then he called me and said, hey, I'm on the side of the road. It won't pull. There's oil all over the ground. It's still running, but it won't do nothing. I said, we saw you got a transmission out. So brought it here. Sure enough, it was the front pump seal. So we took the 4L80E out, sent it out, got it rebuilt, put it back in. And this is probably the nastiest truck I've worked on in a while underneath. Coated in oil all underneath the whole truck. So we got two other issues we're going to address today, and it's the down on power and where all the oil's coming from. So we're going to show you all that. So you can see it smoking here, and that's our valve cover gaskets are leaking oil, and they've been leaking oil for a while, and you can just see it seeping out while it runs. So there's oil all running down the motor, all underneath. This thing's got a nice thick coat underneath it. And other thing is the fuel pressure. So we hooked our fuel pressure gauge up, and just like always, check it under a low, because you can sit here and it might have good fuel pressure riven up, but drive it and check it under a low. This is supposed to have between 50 and 60 PSI is what it should have running. And we're dropping down to 25 when you put it under a load. Actually gets worse the longer you drive it, just like always, because I'm assuming there's trash in the tank. And he mentioned one of his farm hands had put some old gas in here at one point. He did change the fuel filter already. It is a new filter, so we're going to change the filter again, but we're going to drop that tank also and take a look at the pump and what's in it. So today we're going to be doing these valve cover gaskets and the fuel pump, and we're going to get this thing back and running. Transmission's working fine. We got that put in and drove it enough for that, and drove it enough to see how bad these valve cover gaskets are leaking. So we're gonna drop the tank first, and we're gonna see what we got in the tank. So just like always, this thing has 3/4 tank of fuel. It never fails when you gotta drop a tank or mess with the fuel pump. It's gonna be almost full of gas. So we got our little cheap electric fuel pump. It's just hooked up to the battery on the truck, and we're pumping the gas out into 5-gallon cans, so we don't have 20-something gallons to deal with in the tank of this truck while we drop it. So we're gonna let that pump. Meanwhile, I'm gonna start loosening up hose clamps and start dropping the straps and stuff for the tank, and just leave enough in it till I get it pumped out, but start getting some stuff loose. All right, so we got our tank out. You can tell it's definitely a farm truck full of dirt and crud, so we're gonna pop the cap off, see what we got on the inside here. Not a pickup sock on this. All right, guys, we're back. It is the next day. We got our pump from Sunrise Chevrolet. This was under warranty. He had this pump done, I'm not sure how long ago, but it was under warranty. So we're gonna throw this pump in the tank. We cleaned it out, pumped all of our fuel out of it. We got, it's like 16 gallons altogether. And so we're gonna throw the pump in, and I'm gonna clean the outside of this tank so I'm not get covered in crap when I put it back in. Blocked off with either hose or rubber plugs so that we don't get any contamination in the tank. Stuck the gas cap on it. We're gonna get all this crap off of it now. All right, we got all of our lines popped back in place, front and back. We gotta feed our filler neck arm back over the frame here. And then I'm gonna put the tank straps back on. We got a new fuel filter to put on right up here on the frame. And then we're gonna give this thing a try with some fresh, clean gas in it and check our fuel pressure again. Alright, tank is all back in, new fuel filter's on. Let's see if this pump sounds a little bit healthier compared to the other one. It was really weak sounding. It sounded pretty good, y'all probably didn't hear it. Alright, we've primed it a few times. Let's give it a try now. We were closer to 40 at idle before. 48 to 52-ish should be idle. And then we should be pumping like 55 to 62-ish, driving under a load. I'll get it down, we'll take it for a test run. So it's running much better. The fuel pressure issue is resolved, but we still have, I still felt like it's pretty weak, and you can hear a little bit of a miss. So we got our Auto Ingenuity Enhanced GM on here, and cylinder 5 misfire. So what I've decided to do to try to save the customer a little bit of money, because he's on a budget, is we're going to swap 2 coil packs and see if the number jumps to the cylinder that I'm changing it to. So this is 1, 3, 5, 7. So we got a misfire on 5, so we're gonna swap 5 and 3 just because 3 is easier to get to. So we're gonna swap them around, plug it back up, clear the codes, and see what it comes back as. Then if it moves to 3, then we're gonna go with just a coil pack. We're gonna buy them 1 coil pack. My price is $48 on these, and that way he's not gonna have to buy a whole set. And if that is what it is, we just won't even worry about plugs in, and try to save him some money and get him back on the road with his work truck. So I'm gonna swap these around real quick and see what happens. All right, so we swapped our coil packs. We took it down the street again. I got my service engine soon light. We're hooking our Auto Ingenuity back up real quick. And we're gonna see what it says about a misfire now. Cylinder 3 misfire, so I say we can save them some money. The whole set of plugs is like $48, my price. That was going with the AC Delco Platinum, I think is what it was. They gave me a price on $48 for a coil pack. So we'll change the coil pack and he should be good for now. This isn't the original motor in this truck. I know it's got 288,000. I think the motor was put in around 200, so not quite a 100,000 mile service interval for the plugs. So we'll get him a coil pack and we'll go from there, and we'll jump back on this tomorrow because I'm about to quit for the day, and we're getting the power stroke dropped off to work on now also. All right guys, Automatic Garage back. It is the next day. We take Diesel to the vet, so we're getting a late start. But we got our new coil pack for the 1500 here with the 6.0 in it. So we're gonna throw it on real quick because, as I mentioned yesterday, we did rule it down. It was a coil pack because we moved it and the mist jumped. So we're gonna change that out real quick. Got a case of brake cleaner back there because I know we're gonna deal with some nastiness with these valve covers because it's been leaking oil for a while. So when we pull them off, we're gonna get them cleaned up a little bit for them. So I'm gonna change this coil real quick, put it on the bracket with the other coils, then we're gonna pull the whole bracket off and start on these valve cover gaskets. All right, so these grommets just pull out here with the bolt in them, and we're going to have this new rubber seal right here. When we put the new ones in that came with the valve cover gaskets, we're going to clean this up with some brake cleaner here, get all the funk off of it, so at least it'll look a little bit better. All right, we got our valve covers all cleaned up here. They're not absolutely perfect, but you can actually tell that they're aluminum now and not look like they were painted black before. We got our surface cleaned up on our heads. I went on and pulled the passenger side off. Same thing as the driver's side, no difference. Only difference was there was this one bracket here that holds these two heater hoses that's on this one. So our surface is clean. We got our Felpro VS 50504R-1, which has the grommets, as you can see, in there also with the gaskets. So we're going to get these put in the groove on these valve covers and get our grommets put on our bolts, and then we'll be ready to install.
Audio Jungle.
So we're all done. We're all buttoned back up. Everything's plugged in. Hoses run, brackets back on, everything. Let's crank her up and see how she sounds. Sounds much better. Don't hear the hesitation and the miss anymore that we have with that coil pack being bad. Automatic Garage signing out. Hope you enjoyed the video on fixing up this old farm truck here. Like I said, new transmission, new fuel pump, new fuel filter, new coil pack, new valve cover gaskets, new carrier bearing also, which we didn't video all that was under the truck. And this turned into a bigger project as we kept finding stuff that needed addressing. So it's Automatic Garage signing out. Y'all like, subscribe, comment, check us out at Facebook, check us out at automaticgarage.com, Instagram and Rumble also. Don't forget to check out my buddy over at Project Time Garage. He's got a good channel also covering the same kind of stuff. Check out some merch. We have some on our website. These shirts that have the American flag are only through us that we get here made in town. So if you're interested in that, hit us up at automaticgarage@outlook.com. Let us know if you want a shirt or a hat or any of the other stuff. So we'll holler at y'all later. We got more videos coming.